This is the Cafe Racer Podcast, episode 136 for February 3rd, 2019. I'm Crash.
And I'm Daddy No Fun. You've got ears with that thing. Did you realize that?
What?
Whatever you've got on your head has created ears.
Oh, yeah, it did, huh? I
What
can
is
see
that?
through it surprisingly well.
Is that a helmet bag?
No, it's actually... let me pull it off my head. So it's one of those...
It's a pair of underwear.
No, it... For what? Like, I mean, it's like a tube. It's one of those, like, neck, face, whatever you want to do with it, kind of head sock things.
A neck gaiter.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
And it's an SW Motec brand one. And I had two of them for a long time. And a few, I don't know, like probably over a year ago or maybe 2 years ago, I lost one. And then I guess it had been about a year ago. I lost one. And then I was doing something the other day and I felt like kind of a bulge in a weird place in one of my motorcycle jackets.
Mm-hmm.
And it was in there. So I have both of them now for no reason, but
That's cool, man.
Yeah, I like it. It's not like super. It's not super warm. It's thin, but I'll like fold it over and like double it up, and it kind of covers that gap between my neck and the bottom of the helmet.
Right.
But I had been wondering, like, where's that second one? I know I have another one, but I've like moved things around so much, and I was just like, I don't know. I guess it's just lost. But I was going to put on my motorcycle jacket, and I was like, why is it puffy right here? And I haven't noticed this yet because the liner has a pocket inside of it.
Yeah.
And so I opened up the pocket inside the removable liner and was like, holy crap. I've been looking for this thing for like over a year now. Obviously not looking very hard.
There was something else too. I got one from I have two. Mm-hmm. One from Climb and one that they gave me when I joined the BDR, that paid for the membership.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I once I started wearing those things, I like wearing them all the time, just for the reason that it keeps the sun off my neck.
Yeah.
And I wore one on the trip, a couple trips I've been on actually, and I always keep them wet too. So
yeah,
cooling your carotid arteries is a really fast way to cool yourself. And it's easy to get, you just dump some water on it. I don't even have to take it off. Sometimes I take it off, get it wet and wring it out. But most times I just dump water around my neck. And that was really kind of a godsend to have that thing on.
Yeah. Have you tried one of those cooling vests that you can get?
Yeah. I used to have one. I used to have one. I had one made by
like Macna, right?
No, I didn't. Did I have the Macna one? I had a Macna jacket. I don't think I bought a Macna vest. I had one from another brand company, and that thing was great. I actually think the Macna one works better, though. I remember reading about it.
Okay, yeah, I've never tried one, but I've thought about it. I've got so many. I've got a good number of jackets now to where like I don't have to change liners out of anything. If it's warmer, I just wear the jacket that already has the liner in it, and if it's colder, and then if it's warmer, I just wear the one that doesn't. And then if it's really fucking hot, I wear the perforated one.
I'm down to two, and I'm happy, man. I'm wearing the Badlands for I'd say 80% of the time, and then the Climb Inferno, I think it's called. Maybe not. The one that's perforated.
Yeah.
And if it's really, like you said, blazing hot, I don't think it's going to rain, I'll wear that. But I'm so used to wearing the Badlands all the time. That's my go-to jacket. Even if it's like, 80, high 80s, low 90s. As long as I'm moving, I'm okay.
Yeah. I've got 4.
Yeah.
Got that old Dainese leather jacket that's perforated, and then the Climb, I don't know which one it is now. It's one of their 626 collection ones, the brown one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Gore-Tex one,
and then Drifter or something, or Revner.
It's one of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I've got a Dainese jacket that's really similar to that Climb one, but I leave the liner in it all the time. And then I've got a two-piece Dainese touring suit.
Do you have the Dainese jacket, the perforated one that they sold at Cycle Gear, the Magella?
No.
That's
Mm-mm.
the one I have. I have the white perforated Magella.
Yeah.
You know, that's a great jacket other than the fact that they didn't put a damn zipper in it.
Oh, like for connecting it to
Y
pants or whatever?
Yeah, like, you cannot use it unless you could have the other side of the zipper sewn in from whatever pants you buy, they always give you the other one, but
Yeah, usually.
it just pisses me off it didn't come from the factory with it, and, that the Magello was one made by Dainese for sale at Cycle Gear,
Yeah, so it's kind of almost like the Walmart
Right,
mod version, like
right,
the
right,
it's definitely made to a price point.
right. It's not the Rolling Sands edition, it's like, the Fonzie edition, so
All right. Um, let's see. So motorcycle wise, well, yesterday, was it yesterday? I don't know. No, it was 2 days ago. I did an interview, with Tom from Purpose Built Moto, and, that's already on YouTube. For those of you that subscribe to YouTube, you can watch or listen to it there already. But for those of you that do the podcast thing, you will find it attached to the end of this interview. That was super fun. Did you get a chance to watch the movie I sent you?
No, not yet. I've
Okay.
been slammed at work, man,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just
I get it. It's like, it's a little less than an hour long. It's available for anybody to watch out on YouTube. It's called Handcrafted. It's basically sort of like a showcase of Australian bike builders. Just because I guess like one of their reasons for doing it was that you know Australia is often thought of as this like little weird fairyland that's kind of off in the corner and nobody pays that much attention. And so they wanted to kind of like say, hey, look, we've got some really cool builders doing interesting things down here as well. It was shot really well. Um, the some of the one of the opening shots are just is just really beautiful and like kind of hooked me in immediately. So yeah,
they,
it's called
they do they have, like, challenges down there that we don't have, like, when it comes to getting parts or, buying bikes? It would seem like they're kinda limited.
that's a good question. I didn't think to ask Tom, but I'm sure he'll be on again, and maybe one day you guys will both be on the same episode,
I
and
know,
you can
now I feel
remember to
bad.
ask him. He was like we were both kind of giving you a hard time because he's been on the show 3 times, and
Like, I
like
don't
we
really exist.
right.
Your imaginary friend.
Yeah, like I messaged him. I was like, "Hey man, Steve's not gonna be able to make it." He's like, "What the fuck?
Yeah,
God,
I know,
really?"
we're gonna do that. It just I I need to there's this thing that they make. It's a thing you can write dates down and put, like, what you're gonna do on that
Oh,
date. I
yeah.
think it's
It's
called a
called
calendar.
yeah, yeah. That's what they are.
Because I committed to something else that
Yeah,
I
double booked.
couldn't double booked, could not cancel it, and, I
Yeah,
committed to it after I committed to us recording the show, so
yeah. It
double
happens.
whammy, yeah. But speaking
Um,
of motorcycle stuff,
yeah,
the interview was good, right?
yeah. I mean, Tom's always fun to talk to. He's got a new shop, so it was nice to like see what he's got going on there. Uh,
Maybe we need to make a trip.
I would love to go to Australia. I have like
Can't you, like, jump on a Navy plane or something like that and just
I don't
go?
know. I don't know about Australia. I can get to Hawaii pretty easily. Um, I can get to Japan
Hey,
pretty easily, I think.
listen, I gotta make a shout out right now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I wanna shout out to Gianna Isabella Grasso. Hey there. Hi, Gianna. That's my granddaughter. She's watching the show right now
Oh,
live.
nice. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I just got a text from my kid. So, hi, Gianna. It's your grandpa.
That is the most Italian name ever.
You think?
Yeah, Gianna Isabella.
Yeah, Gianna Isabella.
Hmm.
Anyway, so yeah, man, just jump on a C-130, like jump on a Greyhound or something and
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly how I mean, I know how the military, like, space age travel thing works. I just don't know if I can get to Australia. It's not, like, really well publicized, like, where you can go and how to do it.
right.
Um, so I don't know. I know, like I said, I know there's like a pretty frequent back and forth from here to Hawaii. Um, but I don't really know about much else.
Yeah, well, it's still a long ways from Hawaii to Australia, you know?
Yeah. Um,
Oh, by the way, I was gonna tell you the SC1A came in for the
oh,
Schuberth
yeah.
helmet. Yeah.
How's that been?
Man, it is tiny. You know, you don't I guess you could tell when you open the porch in the back to look at it, but it is
Mhm.
small.
So this is
So
the advanced version of the Bluetooth unit that comes, like, the Schuberth helmets come pre-outfitted for, I guess?
yeah, it's well, I honestly believe there's more guts in there than just the speakers because the battery's on the other side, right? So
Mhm.
that's all connected. And then the control unit plugs into one side. There's only 2 buttons on the thing. So you have to relearn everything.
Yeah.
And it's a plus and minus button, but, like, I couldn't figure out just pairing the phone took a little while. I ended up having to do it through the app, and it worked much easier than trying to push buttons. It said, like, "Hold this button for 1 second." Well, that turned on the FM radio. So it's
Yeah.
not intuitive like the other units are. I'm sure once I get used to it, and it's a completely different app too. So it's not the standard Cena app that's used, it's a Schuberth app.
Oh, okay.
It looks identical to the other apps, but it's only designed for 3 units. The SC1, the SC1 Advanced, and then another one. So,
Hmm.
um, I had it all set up Friday night, you had it charging and everything, and you've gotta charge it through the little controller port on there. I think
Yeah,
you
so you
told me
kinda have
that.
to plug it in your helmet. Like, you have to ha it has to be installed in your helmet to charge the battery that's in the
Right.
other, like, trap door.
Right, right, right. And that
Okay.
one gets covered, you know, there's 2 covers on those trapdoors, and one of them you don't reuse because the unit's kinda sitting there, but the other one, you don't throw it away because 'cause you're gonna need it to cover the battery up. I guess the nice thing about it is you could buy additional batteries and have them charged and then swap them out if you needed to.
Yeah.
Um,
I wonder what the
it's
battery life is.
I don't know, I'm gonna figure it out. I was supposed to do a ride Saturday with the Vintage Iron Club, and we were supposed to start at a cafe, then go up to WMR, the big KTM dealer, and then
Mhm.
go around the lake, and they canceled it because of weather, but it didn't rain. Like, we were expecting all these thunderstorms and everything, and it was just,
Right.
like, beautiful outside. So I'm
Canceled
like,
due to
"Eh."
fake news.
Yeah. I'm like, "Why don't we just go ahead and do this ride anyway?" But they already canceled it, and everybody went and did other stuff, and I ended up going to the shooting range instead. So, um, I'll get a chance to use it hopefully next weekend. I'm gonna
Yeah.
try to get another long ride in and be able to report on it and maybe record. I have that app on my phone that we've used before in the past, so I wanna get the quality down and record on it and then
Yeah,
kinda
see how it
compare it.
is.
Yeah. I think you told me that you think it's got the guts of a 10, right?
Um, I think that one's actually the guts of a 20.
The
I think
advanced
the
one.
yeah, I think the advanced is the same because if you look at the features, it seems to have all the same features of a 20S.
Okay.
Like, the way the audio works, a number of devices it can pair to, the way it can play music over intercom, that sort of thing is, like, some of the features are only, like, reserved for the 20S
Okay.
and
Well,
and the
I'm gonna
30K, but
try to run it through its paces and see how it works. I mean, a helmet is just so comfortable, you know, it's
yeah,
every
I've
time I
I've
put it on, I don't wanna take it off.
I've really been enjoying mine. I also got another new helmet recently. I don't know if we talked about it on the show or not. I had a helmet stolen.
Yeah, we
Um,
did.
yeah, so that was, stupid luck. The KTM actually comes with like a cable lock for a helmet that um you just have to have your own sort of like combo lock or key lock or whatever, and you can just loop this cable through something solid on the bike and then lock your helmet on it.
Mine doesn't where's that at?
It's in the toolkit.
Oh, that's what that thing is.
Uh huh. I didn't know what it was either. I looked up what
I'm
the hell
like, "What the hell
that
is
was.
that thing?"
Yeah, it's just like a random steel cable that's like coated in nylon or whatever.
Right. I was like,
Yeah,
What is this? I don't need this." It's just, like, for pulling gears or something. I was like, "What the hell is this?"
yeah. Apparently it's a helmet lock. And
Nice.
supposedly some people were saying there's a way to on some of the KTM's to actually lock it under the seat.
Yeah,
Um,
there's
there's like there's like a tab you can hook that little um because it's just got two loops, on each end. There's apparently a spot you can hook the loops underneath the seat
I've heard the same
on.
thing, but I haven't actually found it yet.
Yeah, I
So,
haven't either. I haven't looked. I just have a little combo lock that I lock it to the grab rail or whatever,
Right.
Um, but I was poking around online and I saw this Nex Helmets XG200, which if I, had gone
Oh,
down
you
and gotten it, I
sent me
could
a picture of
have
that.
it
That
here.
thing was cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a retro motocross helmet, and I posted about it on the show's Instagram and on my own.
I'm gonna do a
And
screen share of it.
yeah, I like the helmet a lot. The only thing um, that it's kind of a blessing and a curse. I put my cardo unit on it, and when I went to take the liner out a little bit to like put all the wiring, tuck it in, and everything, the cheek pads. You know how most helmets they use little snaps, like those little. There's like three little plastic snaps that holds the cheek pads in.
Right.
The Nex helmet is just one piece of Velcro. So it's like the back of the cheek pads is all the hook side of Velcro. And then the inside of the helmet is all the loop side. So you can actually move the cheek pads around a little bit if you want, because there's no specific place where they have to go.
Mhm.
They also, since that it covers the entire cheek area, that's also your Velcro backing for putting helmet speakers on, which
Mhm.
means instead of only having this little circle of Velcro that you have to kind of play with, you have that whole space if you want to use it, and you can just kind of adjust and everything, move everything around. It seems like, though, for my situation, my ear, like my actual ear hole, lines up almost exactly with where the chin strap starts, and so um, putting the speakers right exactly where they would need to be was kind of tough. Um, and then when I used my headphones while I had the speakers in, yeah, so when I used the headphones while I had the speakers in, I was, oh man, now it's like,
What is going on there?
it's like we're going down a wormhole.
That was weird.
Yeah.
I'm
Anyway,
trying to
so
share the screen. So it's a really cool. You got the XG200 Rock on, right?
yeah, yeah, which it's got like the BMW factory race colors,
Mhm.
like the light blue, dark blue, and red. Um, so yeah, I tried to put the speakers in, and then when I used my headphones with the speakers in, then it was like they were bumping up against each other. And even with the speakers out, the something about the way the head helmet pushes on my ears has made it a little bit difficult to use my earbuds. But it is what it is.
They
Um,
it's got a very BMW-esque look to it.
yeah, it really does. I mean, those are
Is it
their
meant to
factory
be
race
that?
colors.
I mean, is
I
that
I honestly don't know. I just thought it looked cool, so I bought it. Um,
that's a cool helmet. I really like that.
Yeah, it's the same basic helmet as the XG100 in terms of, it's like just a stripped down, no frills, um, retro style helmet. And we had that XG100 that we gave away like a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Um, and I wasn't sure what size helmet I wore, and so I went back. I was like, wait, which size helmet did we give away? So I looked up the old contest because that one fit me, and so I went and I found it.
You know what's funny is they make that helmet also the desert race version of it
Hmm.
in a black and white with some yellow accent, but the blue or the yellow blue one, those are Suzuki's colors.
Yeah,
Suzuki Racing. That's kinda neat.
yeah. I
Which
want to get
goggles did
some.
you end up getting with it?
Oh, I got some Fox racing goggles.
Okay.
Like they're like the American flag motif ones. Um, Honestly, the deciding factor on the goggles was goggles that would fit inside the viewport, because most dirt bike helmets have a bigger cutout for your eyes and where the chin bar comes, and these are kind of small. So a lot of the goggles I was trying on wouldn't actually fit and like seat against my face.
Right.
And these Fox ones that I found
So if you're
did.
interested in
So
this helmet, it's in their Garage series,
yeah.
which they still make the XG100 Purist. They make a couple different versions of the XG100. They actually make one that has the snap-on shield is like the one we gave away, but they make one now with a flip-up shield as well.
Yeah, I really like the flip up shield one.
Yeah.
Um,
Have you tried one
yeah.
on yet?
No, there's nowhere that sells them locally that I know of. I just ordered mine. I ordered mine from Cycle Gear because I can get a military discount from them.
Mhm.
So I went into the store and I had them order it for me.
It looks like their line's gotten a little bit bigger now. They're offering
Mhm.
some Turing helmets too that are kind of like the adventure helmet, but without the ability to put. So it looks like the exact same shell as the adventure helmet, but without the ability to add the bill, the
Yeah.
visor.
The that little, like, visor peak, whatever you wanna call it, that's on the I've never ridden in a helmet with one except for, like, on a dirt bike school day that I took. Um,
I like
I
it.
like it. I
Yeah,
I
me
didn't
too.
I didn't realize I was like, "Man, that the way it, like, it'll block the sun and I can still see," like, it was like, "Wow, I've
No, it's
never."
really good if the guy in front of you has, like, got dirt coming off his rear wheel, you just kinda lower your head a little bit and it doesn't get all over.
Yeah, I guess that would help too.
I mean, I really enjoyed the Next helmet, it went past its service life for me. I mean, I beat that thing up pretty well.
Yeah, you had the adventure one.
Yeah. Yeah, and used it for, a long time and really got a lot of use out of it. It's done now,
Mhm.
the things are starting to kinda come apart on it, but that's because I really put a lot of use. That helmet got used every single day for 2 weeks, and then I commuted in that helmet to work every day too. So,
Yeah, you wore that helmet for the first ride up the divide.
yeah, yeah, we all did. We were
Yeah.
all in the same exact helmet, and, a couple little issues here and there, but nothing major. It's stuff that we could just fix right away.
Right.
But it was, they got beat up. I mean, got dropped off bikes, people fell down constantly. Um, they I gotta say, man, they perform really well for the amount of abuse that we put in the thing.
Yeah.
I
I
told you I
feel
got
like
a new helmet too, right?
yeah, the Schuberth?
No, besides that, I bought a Bell, a
Oh, yeah.
Qualifier DLX MIPS equipped Bell. Yeah. I bought that to install the pack talk in, and,
Yeah.
man,
I need to
that's
s
a really nice helmet.
Good. I'm glad. I
Like
I
we
need to
talked
steal
about
your
last
pack
show.
talk for, like, a week or 2.
Huh?
I said I need to steal your pack talk for, like, a week or 2.
You want me to send it out to you?
Yeah, because I don't know if we've talked about this on the show, but they accidentally sent me 2 to replace. I know you and I have talked about it offline, but, um, they sent me when I had the helmet stolen, I reached out to them and I apologized for losing their thing, and then I was like, "Hey, would it" I was like, "Feel free to say no to this, but would it be possible to get another one so that I can keep reviewing it?" And they were like, "Yeah, we'll look into it and see. What's your address?" Gave them my address. A couple days later, one shows up in the mail with no warning from them whatsoever. I was like, "Oh, awesome. They sent me one." A couple days after that, another one showed up in the mail. And the second one had a business card attached to it. So I emailed the guy and I was like, "Hey bro, I just wanted to check with you." Um, I mean, I didn't say "Hey bro," but that was what was going on in my mind.
"Hey,
Um,
brah."
it was a real dude bro moment. But I was like, "Hey, you guys sent me 2. I only need 1. What do you want me to do with it?" And they were like, "Dude, play with it, pass it around, let your friends try it, do whatever, give it away. It's all yours." So, everyone can look forward to us giving away at least one more Cardo Pack Talk in the future.
Yeah.
Um,
I'll send you my I know why you want it, 'cause you
yeah,
wanna
I want
check
to
the
try 3
mesh.
at a time. Yeah, to
Yeah.
try the mesh thing.
I'll send it out this week.
That'd be great.
I'll because I didn't, it's not really, how do I have it mounted on the helmet? I've got the sticker mount on there.
Realistically, I only need the unit and the part that it clips into, not because you know how the when you installed the stick-on part, you had to pop off the clip.
Yeah.
Um, the part that would pop off the stick-on part and the unit itself are all that I need. I don't need any of the I have so much extra Pack Talk installation stuff. Like, I have another one of, I think, everything
Okay. So I'll
except
send you the
maybe the
unit,
microphone, but
and I'll confirm with you by text which piece you need. I think I
yeah,
have a pretty good idea, but I'll mail that out to you this week.
that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, because 'cause I'm
because
gonna
I'm
get I have enough helmets that I can install it all on my own helmets, and nobody else has to, like, put one in their helmet if they don't want to, and then I can
mhm.
still and my head's big enough, every one of my helmets will fit, like, 90% of the population, so just get a couple of my
No,
friends
I
together.
definitely wanna get that that's like an important thing, and that's one of the reasons why we asked for these was to actually check and test, the mesh. So,
Yeah, because even when you're when you're only paired with one other person, it's still using the dynamic mesh, but you're not really getting the opportunity to try out the features of it because it's just you and another person.
see, I didn't think that was the case, though. I thought that when you were only paired with one person, it was maybe that's the Cena.
I don't know. I could be wrong. I know that once you get up to 3 people, you're definitely using the mesh, and, um, I
Don't
know
you
that
have 'cause you have to switch into that mode, don't you?
that's a good question. I'll have to look it up. I'm not
Okay.
because I don't pair with other people very often, and most of the people I know that I've ridden with have Senna units anyway,
Mhm.
so who knows? Uh, it's been I've it's been a learning curve definitely, like, using the Cardo, because 'cause I've got my Arai helmet has a Sena 20S, and then my other 2 helmets each have a mount for the Cardo, and I definitely because of because I don't really like the buttons on the Cardo, it makes me use the voice control more often.
Mhm.
And then on the Senna, I've never even considered using the voice. And so I'm like trained in how to use the couple of buttons you get. But the Cardo has done a great job of recognizing my voice, like even on the freeway.
I
And I
don't
know
know.
you said you had an issue.
I couldn't get it to work at all. I mean, one it w that's let me correct that. It worked for one time, and then it didn't work after that, and I was wondering if I accidentally switched, because 'cause I'm, like, fumbling with buttons and stuff,
Hmm.
and, maybe I checked in the app, it wasn't switched off,
Right.
but I just couldn't get it to work after that. So, again, it's probably more than likely, it's probably user error. It's probably something I did, but I'll figure it out. The other thing was, you know, um I had some issues with the phone too because I switched from an iPhone 7 to an 8,
Hmm.
and with the 7, because the button was an actual real button,
Yeah.
I was able to do stuff on the phone. With the 8, I can't seem to do anything. Like,
Yeah.
is
It
there a
won't pick up your
workaround for that or something or not?
It won't pick up your finger through a glove, which is problematic, like the touch button.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know if there's a workaround, there might be. Um, I
If
know
anybody
that
knows, let us know, man. Send us an
it might
email or
actually be in the accessibility options of the iPhone. You can do some things in accessibility that are, um, like, basically move some of the features of the phone to alternate places.
okay.
Um, but I had an 8 for a while, and I was frustrated by that same thing, and then I switched to a 10.
Mhm.
I have a 10s, I think, and it uses Face ID to unlock instead of having a home button.
Hey, what if you got a helmet on?
Oddly enough, sometimes it will recognize my face in the helmet. Um, it depends on it
Have
almost
you tried
never
it with the Schuberth flipped up?
so it'll definitely recognize my face in the Schuberth flipped up. It would my HJC, it would recognize my face in that if I just tilted my head down to get the chin bar out of the way.
Mhm.
The viewport was big enough that it would see enough of my
That
face
is
to
so weird.
open. The Arai, it does not recognize my face because the viewport is tiny on that thing. Um, and then the new one, I have goggles on, so I'm just screwed. But if it doesn't recognize your face, it just brings up the little keypad for you to punch in your code.
Mhm.
And one of my goggles, or sorry, one of my gloves is touch enabled, like touch screen enabled, and then I have another pair of gloves that's not. But it really makes me want to make them touch screen enabled. Um,
Well,
you can,
when they get dirty enough, they all become that way. Like the Lee Parks gloves I have and the Climb gloves I have, they were new, they weren't. Now they are. So once they get a bunch of grit and dirt and crap on the finger, they seem to work.
hmm. I know
Th
you can buy a thread that you can sew into the tip of the finger, and it will make it.
They used to
It's
make a paint too, didn't they? Like some sort of a
That's a good question.
yeah, they
I'd
used to have
try
a
that.
product that you could paint on the glove and get the same feature, but
Huh. If that's a thing, I'm gonna try it because my, like, everyday gloves are the ones that are not touchscreen compatible. They kinda work because 'cause they're thin enough. Like, my thumb, they'll work sometimes, but I'd really like it if my index fingers on each hand were, like, very positively gonna work every time, you
I'll have to
know?
look for that product. They've got those little slip-on finger cot things, but they're just ridiculously large.
Yeah, no, it's not
If they're stupid. They don't really work well, but,
it's not for me.
so I was kinda frustrated, and then the mount that we were using, the SP mounts, I got that all I took off my tech mount, mounted the SP mount on the
Oh, yeah.
bike, and I'm just really nervous about it. You know, like I don't know, it's very secure, but I don't know. It seems like there's nothing there. You know, because it's behind the
Yeah.
phone, and the case is kind of, it's a little thin. Like this is the mount on the back. If you're watching this on YouTube, I've actually popped this mount out by accident one time.
Oh,
So
like
that
you turned it and it, like, popped out?
Well, I was trying to use it on the car thing, the glass adapter, suction adapter, and
Yeah.
I went and I turned it the wrong way and kinda went a little too hard, and I popped it out. And then, I just popped it back in, but I'm thinking to myself, "Man, I hope that never happens on the bike."
Yeah, mine like, are you saying you actually had the thing come off the phone case?
This back piece here came out. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, the newer ones, if you have a newer iPhone, um, mine turns both directions.
Yeah, mine only turns one.
Right, and they must have changed the mechanism in there a little bit somehow. Uh, I I had my iPhone 8 in one for, I don't know, over 1,000 miles when I used it when I rode to Arizona, Vegas, and then back here, so
I
I was
like the form factor a lot. I like the little
yeah.
articulating arm and how it mounted up super easy, you
Yeah,
know?
I've really loved it. Um I've got one on both bikes. I bought their wireless charger. Um, so when I click my phone in on the KTM, it just charges automatically.
That's
Um,
kinda cool. I'm still running a cable.
yeah,
Did you hardwire that in somewhere, or you've got it plugged in?
I have a USB plug on the bike,
Okay.
so I just plugged it in there.
Yeah.
It comes with a USB plug. I don't I don't think it came with anything else. It didn't like come with a like a wiring kit to just hardwire it because it's not made to run off 12 volts. It's made to run off 5.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
Um, But when I bought my iPhone 10, actually, the trip out to Vegas and back to go to AIM was what I think it was either that trip or the next trip I took on my motorcycle is what killed my iPhone 8. Um, I had been
What do
trying
you
to
mean
take
killed it?
well, it broke the vibration from the motorcycle broke my camera. Um,
Really?
yeah, the so normally when you're not using the camera, it's not powered on, and there's like a tiny little motor in there that helps it focus and helps it optically stabilize.
Mhm.
Well, if you open any app that opens the camera, like Snapchat or Facebook Messenger to send a picture, or Instagram, or just the camera app, it'll turn the camera on, and then suddenly that little motor is, like, engaged, and in the case of the KTM, is getting the shit shaken out of it. Um, if I were on the Bonneville, it would be probably just as bad. Um, and I had been a not very safe motorcyclist a few times while I was riding to and from Arizona, like taking pictures of funny crap I saw on the freeway while I was riding because the KTM
Oh,
has
boy.
cruise control. So I just set the cruise
Oh, boy.
control and like pop the phone out,
I've
take
never
a
done that before.
right, take a
I've never
picture,
FaceTime with anybody before on the motorcycle. I would
right?
never do that, right?
No. So through that process, the camera was like on while the phone was in the mount and just getting like the full brunt of the KTM's vibration at like 80 miles an hour, which I think I don't know. I don't think the engineers at KTM did this on purpose, but the bike definitely wants you to go 100. If you go 100, the bars are so much smoother than if you go 85.
It's true.
Um,
I think that motors are designed that way.
yeah,
Doesn't it say ready to race on the motor somewhere?
yeah,
I think
yeah,
it
it does.
does, yeah.
I mean, it's like I think if you go 65 or 70, the vibrations are pretty good too. So, that's the speed that I think, I'm supposed to be riding, but I'm not gonna ride that slow.
My bike
I'm
is
just gonna
so
go
happy at 100, it's not even funny.
I love it. Yeah, the bike feels so good at 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I think for speeds over 100 though, I'm actually thinking I might change the steering damper a little bit.
yeah.
I might put a Scots on mine
Okay.
because a couple times with a heavy load, which besides my fat ass is like bags filled on it, and I've been up like a buck 20, buck 30. I feel like I'm starting to get some unstable,
I think it's kinda wobbly.
yeah, from the front.
Mm.
And I
Yeah,
read there's a couple posts on ADV Rider about some guys that wrecked pretty bad
yeah,
with a big boxes on the back bike, you know, and heavy loads at high speed. So
yeah. The So yeah, I guess the vibration is what kinda, like, shook my phone to death, and the cost of fixing the camera just wasn't. I know this is a typical, like, first world, just throw it away, buy a new one kinda mindset, but to replace the camera was gonna be almost as much as, like it was, like, half the cost of a new phone, and I was just like, "Yeah, screw it."
right.
So I just bought a new phone.
Well,
Um,
so now you got to make sure the apps are all shut, right?
yeah,
Or
everything's
they
good.
improve the motor in this one.
Oh, I don't know. I'm just careful not to, like, open up the camera while the phone is on the bike
Okay.
or in the mount. The Oh, so, we've talked about
You
Twisted
could have,
Road here on the show. Go
yeah.
ahead. What were you gonna say?
Last Saturday, did you end up doing mods and rockers or not? What
No.
okay.
Um, Last Saturday, I I was a pretty lazy bastard on Saturday last week. I had a bunch of homework I was kinda behind on, so I did that, but I didn't really do anything else.
Okay.
I don't It wasn't last week, but the week before, my KTM had been rented, supposed to be for 2 days on Twisted Road, and the renter on the second day sent me a text message. He was like, "Hey, we have a minor problem. I need to bring the bike back. The cords are starting to show on the tire." And I was like, "Huh, okay." I didn't really think about the tires being that worn. I hadn't looked at them, like, super I hadn't, like, inspected them really closely, but they didn't look that worn. Um, but, he took a picture, sent it to me, and I was like I was really hoping he wasn't gonna say, "Can you come pick it up?" Because I didn't want to. Uh, and so, fortunately, he's like, "Yeah, I'll just write it back to you, and, like, no harm, no foul, like, nobody got hurt, everything's cool." And then he only had the bike he only paid for a rental for 1 day on the bike instead of 2. Your phone's making fun noises again.
I don't think it is, but something's weird.
I don't know. Anyway, it seems to have stopped. But anyway, so he texted me, we got it all figured out. He brought the bike back, and, uh, so I bought a new tire, um,
So
which
obviously
became
the cords were showing.
yeah, yeah, it was definitely worn out. It was That whole thing turned into an adventure because, it's a new motorcycle to me. Well, it's new in general. It's a new motorcycle, and the socket that you need to get the rear wheel off is 60 millimeters.
Mhm.
It's freaking huge. And I don't have anything that big. So I didn't want to take the bike in and have them take the wheel off and, like, pay the extra money for that, especially because I've got a single sided swing arm, it's so easy to remove the rear wheel.
That
Like, the
socket
idea.
didn't come in the kit?
No.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's huge. Um, if it would take up, like, the entire toolkit space if it came. So
Okay.
so yeah, I I was like, I don't wanna pay for somebody else to do this because it's so easy to take this friggin' rear wheel off that I'm gonna end up having to pay, like, somebody 50 or $60 just to pop 2 clips and take 1 socket off. I'm not doing that. So I bought a socket. Um,
I was gonna say Harbor Freight.
so yeah, I looked on Harbor Freight. They didn't have one big enough. I found one on Amazon. I just bought, the 1 socket I needed. But when it arrived, it's a 3/4 inch drive socket, and I was like, "Shit, I don't have anything big enough to drive this socket." So then I had to go to the Pep Boys down the street, buy a step up and a little
Yeah.
adapter to go from a 1/2 inch to a 3/4. It was a fun little adventure. And then because at the time my car was also rented, so I strapped using the Bonneville, I strapped both KTM tires onto the back of the Bonneville, rode it to the motorcycle shop, and had them change the tire for
You
me,
should
and
have
then
taken a
rode.
picture of that.
I really should have. But yeah, so that
What'd you
was
put
fun.
on there? Street the Pilot PR4s?
No, I put another one of the tires that came on the bike, which is a Pirelli Angel GT.
They're really soft though, man.
I know. I don't I don't want, and that was part of the thing. Like, they lasted about 5,000 miles.
Mhm.
Uh so I figure by the time I run through this next back tire, I'll need a new front tire too, and then I'll just
Okay.
change them both to probably pilot roads.
Yeah. Pilot roads are great. I mean, Pirellis are nice. They're sticky. They're just soft.
Yeah, I didn't like I said, I didn't realize how much the tire was worn out, and then when I sat the new tire next to the old tire, I was like, "Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot less tire here."
Yeah. I had Pirellis on the Gucci, and I changed it to Shinkos, and, for what I'm doing, the Shinkos are fine. Just the riding that I do on that bike, and they wear pretty well,
Yeah.
and they're definitely a lot less money.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, so I went to the Dania Beach Vintage Festival on the same day you were gonna go to Mods versus Rockers, and,
Yeah.
it was pouring rain. So I actually kinda waited till around noon to go when the rain let up, and I run into my cousin who's a member of BACA, the Bikers Against Child Abuse
Mhm.
Club, and they were, like, just starting to pack up. I'm like, "Are you leaving?" He's like, "Yeah, man, it's we're expected to get another storm roll through here." And they had, like, a booth, they were soliciting for donations and stuff for that. They're kind of a nonprofit charity, but they're still an MC. He said there were trucks that showed up in the morning that just left, like, didn't even unload the bikes. It was so
Man.
bad. Yeah, it was kind of a drag, but there were still a lot of bikes out there. I walked around, but I did get a good interview with, Dan from Vintage Iron Club and Bob Gilbert from Bob's British Bikes, which we gotta do another interview with Bob. I think that was the first interview I ever did for the show. He's got a lot going on. I wanna do something from his shop in Jupiter. He's got a really cool shop in Jupiter. At any given time, they've got probably 6 or 7 British motorcycles in there being worked on or restored. So it's kinda cool. He's got a guy working for him in there too. So I sat and I chatted with those guys about the festival that's coming up on March 2nd. I'm gonna we'll put that interview up this week or maybe closer to when the festival is gonna be, but it's coming up March 2nd in West Palm Beach. We'll post a link to the Facebook page. But if you're in Florida, if you're in Georgia, the Carolinas, this is a great show. There's still time to enter a bike in. Matter of fact, once Chris gets the show posted, I'll post it. I'll add it to the show notes. We'll put it up on the Facebook page too.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of fun. It's family friendly. We get somewhere between 7 and 8,000 people during the whole day running through this show. From what I understand too, there in the interview you'll hear about it inside the Kelsey Theater where the show is going to be. There's going to be 20 bikes inside the theater on display that are super rare, part of a collection. So there's going to be an old, early 1900s board tracker in there that
Oh,
runs.
nice.
Yeah. So it's cool. I'll have that stuff up. But yeah, the Dania show, which is always usually great, it was just muddy and was kind of sad. Still a lot of bikes, just not as many as they usually have.
Yeah.
But
I
I'm going to go
I'm
ahead and put this up on our page right now.
Yeah, you do that. So I have agreed with Dave from Cerberus Motorcycles. Um,
Hmm.
I have signed up to be a participant with him and his wife Jen on a competition called the Blue Collar Build Off.
Hmm.
Um, there's a basically it's I don't know all the rules, but it's basically you have 30 days to build a motorcycle. Um,
Oh, cool.
yeah, and so because of my schedule with work right now, like I actually have time to like go over after work and work on the bike with them. So there's we're gonna next weekend hopefully I'm gonna get with Dave and like we'll do some sort of like recording interview, explain what the hell I've gotten myself into, um, and then take some pictures of the disaster that is the bike we're starting with, and kind of explain where what Dave's vision is for where we're going to end up. I'm literally just going to be the uh, I don't know the right word. I'm going to be Dave's bitch for this thing. He's just going to leave me because where he works up in LA during the week. So he said he's just going to like leave me to-do lists, and he's going to take some parts up there to the shop to work on and like leave me with stuff to do at his place, and uh, just going to follow instructions and hopefully participate in building a cool
He's
bike.
going to trust you with this.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm
I
s-
don't think he's going to ask me to do anything super crazy. Like hey, I need you to, English wheel this fender. Yeah, no, nope. But if he's like, hey, I need you to rewire this, I could do that. Or I need you to change the fork seals or just replace something, I can do that. If it involves regular hand tools, I'm good to
Right.
go.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah. He mentioned, he asked me if I wanted to be involved or if I wanted to just like try to cover it for the show. And when I asked and I found out when it was, it's happening basically in like the couple week time period between when I finish a set of college classes and when I start another set. So it's like screw it. Yeah, sure. I'll I'll participate. We'll see how crazy this can get. I'm gonna have to like get my camera out and take some like typical Orange County choppers shots of like me getting angry and throwing something.
You need to get some time lapse stuff going too.
Yeah, I should. I found out. So I mean, obviously, I've used my iPhone to shoot time lapse before, but I found out how to make time lapse videos out of regular videos using the program I edit video on the computer. So that's good. I've been I
I can send you the whatchamacallit too if you want the GoPro.
oh yeah, that might work.
I just gotta find it.
Yeah, they're so small, they're so easy to lose.
I don't know where it is. It's someplace. Now
The
that I think about it.
in terms of like fun adventures with cameras and motorcycles, I know I told you about this and I've been playing with it still, like the edit, but I shot a video of myself fixing the leak on the Bonneville's tire because it had a leak in the front tire.
Mhm.
And of course, this was the same weekend that I couldn't ride the KTM because the cords were showing. Somebody was renting my car, so I couldn't drive it. And then the Bonneville's front tire's leaking, so I could ride it, but I just had to be, really aware of what the tire pressure was.
Mhm.
So I decided I've got to fix this. I'm gonna start with the easy thing, which is probably this tire leak. And I shot a video of explaining how I found the leak, and then basically like a demo of all of the cycle pump products. Like because I use a cycle pump, I use a bead breaker, I use their little gauge that they sell and everything in this video. But it turns out the whole time a good like most of me is out of frame, and so it looks really silly. I think this me and John sorry, me and Tom actually talked about this yes a couple days ago, and I think maybe I could just start a whole thing where I'm always out of frame, like just only shoot videos where you can only see me from like the neck down,
That's kinda weird.
like kind of as a joke. He told me about a YouTube channel called Ichiban Moto. I don't remember if it was on the recording. I think it was, but I watched some of the videos since then, and they're hilarious. So Ichiban Moto, I'm okay. To give you a kind of a preface, I'm sure anybody who's tried to look up how to do anything on YouTube has seen that there's like 7 or 8 videos for the same task, and at least half of those people don't have a freaking clue what they're doing, and
Right?
so you get some of the like dumbest crap. Well, the guy that does Ichiban Moto intentionally tells you, like, shows you the most screwed up way to do something, but he does it completely seriously. Like, he does not laugh. He does not, he doesn't clue you in that it's a joke at any point.
Ichiban
And
Moto? Why have I never heard of this?
I hadn't heard about it either, but Tom told me about it and they're hilarious videos. I watched his one on changing the wheels and tires on this old motorcycle.
Mhm.
He uses green zip ties to instead of cotter keys for the nuts on the rims or on the wheels.
Yeah.
Like, or on the axle bolts, he, like, zip ties them. He calls the bike the wrong thing a few times. He refers to taking the bead off with, like, a flathead screwdriver. Um, and when he puts air in the tire, he uses, like, a hand pump for pumping up, like, a soccer ball.
Are you sure this is not like? Because 'cause I'm looking at his page, are you sure this is on purpose and this guy's just not
Yeah, because there's some stuff that he does that there's no way you could actually do the thing that he's saying to do with the tools he's saying to use, you know what I mean?
okay? Because 'cause I'm
Like, when
looking at some of the stuff and I think it looks like he's serious.
oh, yeah, that's the thing, he looks completely serious the whole time, and it's not until and not unless you watch the videos closely can you see that he's intentionally, like, showing you stupid ways to do stuff.
Okay.
Um, like, the video he has a video for doing a DIY, vapor blaster.
Here's one that says how to make DIY thermite for free by Ichiban Moto.
All right. I'm interested. I'll have to watch that later.
He's
Yeah,
making his own helmet in this other one. Customize your helmet by cutting off the chin bar.
yeah,
Oh boy, I can't wait to
yeah.
watch some of these.
They're real bad, and he's completely deadpan the whole time. It's so good.
Where's this guy at?
I don't know. I figured when by the name Ichiban Moto that it was gonna be he was gonna like sound Asian, like
Right.
Japanese, but he doesn't.
Well, Chuck doesn't sound Japanese, and he's Japanese.
Right. So I don't know. I've never seen his face. I've only seen the videos like from because he shoots them like from his point of view.
All right, I gotta check this out. There's
Yeah.
somewhere there's like 40 minutes of footage of me trying to spoon the KTM rear tire off the rim. It's
Nice.
supposed to be pretty hilarious. Me like my belly in the way and like throwing tools and like wiping my brow as I'm sweating to death trying to get this tire off.
Yeah.
And
The
that was
first
after
time
breaking the bead, you know?
the first time I used the bead breaker, it kicked my ass. And then when I shot this video the other day, it was just like bloop.
Breaking the bead was not that bad. It was getting it off. And then getting it back on was even worse because it was a new tire, you know, and I
Mhm.
tried to like stretch it out, which is a joke. And then the worst part about the whole thing was getting the bead to reset. So we had with us a when before we left on the trip, we got like 5 of everything, you know, 5
Mhm.
cycle pumps, 5 bead breakers. We're like, we don't need to bring all this. Let's just bring one. We just need one bead breaker, one of the tools to reset the bead, you know, the strap thing, and like 3 cycle
Oh, yeah,
pumps, you know,
that's like a cargo strap kinda thing that goes around the
a
wheel, right?
strap within a strap. It works really well when you actually use it. But
I don't have that.
so we get out there, you know, and I buy this tire at a tire store because I think I was what was I running? A 60, the, Dunlop.
Heidenau K60?
No,
Oh,
the Dunlop, the, TKC 80. Sorry, TKC 60, right?
Continental
Yeah,
makes a TKC 80.
I'm really losing my mind right now.
You had a
Anyway,
tire, and
yeah,
you needed a new one.
it was a knobby. They're
Uh-huh.
street knobby, and, Continental TKC 60, I'm almost positive is what it is. It was, like, done. So I stopped and I bought a, I think it was a Karoo 3, which is a complete piece of crap.
Yeah.
Um, and the you know, I paid way too much money for this tire to begin with, like 300 and change for the rear tire.
Ouch.
Yeah. Yeah, it was and I should have pre-planned this a little bit better, but it just so happened it was a tire store in, um, somewhere in Idaho that I got it, a motorcycle store. And then I'm like, "All right, can you put it on?" He's like, "Yeah, that's 75 bucks." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, You just charged me 315 for a rear tire, and now you want 75 bucks to mount it?" He goes, "Well, that's the shop rate." I'm like, "You gotta be kidding me." So I'm like, "No, I'm not doing that. I'll take it and I'll do it myself. I got all the tools. I'm gonna be in camp. Strap to the back of the bike, get to camp, you know, it's still daylight out. No problem getting the rear tire off, pretty easy." You know, the bead breaker actually worked pretty quick, got the bead broken. Spooning it off was tough. Spooning it back on was 100 times worse. You know, and now I'm trying to fill this thing and get the bead to seat, and it's just not seating, and I look for the tool, and I'm like, "Crap, I think I shipped it home."
Oh, man.
I'm like, "Damn, it's not in here anywhere." I've emptied out both my bags, and I'm like, "Son of a," you know? So, we overinflate this thing to, like, 60 PSI, and Spencer and I are bouncing it trying to get it to pop in, and he's like, "Well, you wanna try the, you know, lighting the WD-40 thing?" I'm like, "No, I'm not doing that," you know? I know how that's gonna go for me. I'll end up with third-degree burns on my face. Yeah, I swear to you, it was an hour of, like, beating on this thing trying to get the bead to set, and it will not set.
Hmm.
Finally, I go over to this guy, and I'm really nervous, you know, at 60 PSI with this tire inflated. There's a guy in the camp that's one of, like, the resident campers there, and this is in the middle of nowhere in Montana or Wyoming, I think, and, the guy's like, "I got a compressor that'll go to 100 PSI." I'm like, "Oh boy, you know, this is gonna be fun." We pump it up. As soon as it got to 65, 5 PSI more than we had it, they pop into place.
Yeah, that sounds
So,
about right.
yeah, I get the tire back mounted. I'm exhausted at this point. I'm not even worried about, like, cleaning up, I'm tired. Get home after the whole trip's done, after the bike shipped back to my house, like, a month later, right? I'm unpacking the bags. What do you think was in one of the external pockets on the bottom of the pocket? The damn tire setter tool, the bead setter tool.
Nice.
I'm like, I had the damn thing
Well
the whole
done.
time. Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
after all that, I coulda shot a video of it and everything, like, oh boy. That's what I get for packing it in this really convenient location.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, the one of the biggest things that I've struggled with when I, pack up a bunch of stuff to camp or go on a trip is I don't use it every day. And so I pack it once and then I forget where everything is.
Mhm.
And
Right,
like my backpack, my everyday like go to work backpack has a million pockets. I have things in every single pocket, but I use the bag every day. So I know exactly where everything is. If you were if my bag suddenly teleported to you and I was like, "Hey, you could go in this pocket, open up this flap, this zipper, blah blah blah. That's what's in there. You know what I mean? Like, I'm intimately familiar with it. But out on the road, you've got these saddlebags that you use only whenever you travel, which maybe once every few years.
right.
And you're like, wait, where did I put that thing? Fuck. Ah,
It's so funny that you bring this up because I've always been an advocate of so when I was diving, like doing cave diving and stuff, we use this theory called DIR, and people out there that are divers are probably gonna, like, scream at me about this because it was really polarizing, but it meant for doing it right. And the theory behind it was everybody's gear is rigged the exact same way. Everyone's gear is rigged the same way. Everyone's stuff is in like whatever pocket you're using for this. It's the same on everybody. That way, if you got to go find something, you know where it is. It's the same way, like in the fire service. The fire trucks are all laid out the same way. The rescue truck, everything inside's in the same cabinet. So you can go from one truck to another. It's always going to be identical.
yeah.
I always pack when I was on SWAT. I always packed my gear in my load bearing equipment and my body armor. All of us that were medics, everything was packed the exact same way. Well, you think it's like that on the bike? No. Every time I take a trip, it's different. And
Hmm.
it's like and I'm like, "I can't find this," and throwing stuff and, "Oh, there it is. Why did I put it there? I don't remember." I'm like having this conversation with myself in the campground.
Yeah.
And
You're like, stupid, stupid. Ugh,
right,
ugh."
right, right,
And people are like, is he sane? Not anymore, man. Not
right.
anymore.
I actually thought I forgot my clothes one time because I forgot where I put them. Like,
Hmm.
I had, like, underwear and socks in a Ziploc bag, and I'm like, "Oh, crap. I forgot it. It's not where I had it last time." No, it's because it's on the other side. I don't know. I was trying something new or I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. So last time we talked, I think, or recently, one of the times we had a show, we talked about bags, like camera bags and stuff.
Yeah, I actually had another one delivered Friday.
Oh, well, I bought a new bag too. I'm gonna grab it
What
really quick.
what'd you get? You didn't tell me this. And now he's gone. Well, hold on. While you grab your bag, I'm gonna grab my new thing. Give me 1 second.
Okay,
It's
you
right
go
here.
get your new thing, and then we'll both have new things. All the new things. So, also, I mean, while Steve gets his things on,
I got my thing.
good. We're gonna announce at the end of the show the winners of our new, 2019 New Year giveaway, where we're giving a giveaway 7 fabulous prizes to 7 fabulous listeners, um, including 1 free day of rental with Twisted Road, which I've really enjoyed. They've been super easy to deal with, and even when my motorcycle needed a new rear tire, like it was really easy to for them to handle, like, oh, well, this guy only needs to rent for 1 day instead of 2. And so they texted me. They're like, hey, just wanted to confirm, he reached out and told us this, wanted to confirm that's true. I was like, yep, everything's good to go. So I'll go first
Let me
with
see
the
what you
new
got.
stuff. I didn't get a camera bag, but I was so I've been trying to ride as much as I possibly can, um, instead of driving the car. And part of that is I end up having to do that because my car will get rented and then I'm stuck on a motorcycle, which is perfectly fine with me. But I have this big ass backpack that I use to and from work every day, and I love it. But when I after work, and if I'm going to go out and do something else, like I'm going to go do schoolwork or something, I don't like to do my schoolwork in my bedroom, so I'll go to like a coffee shop or something.
Mhm.
And so I wanted a bag I could take my laptop in and some other odds and ends. but not have this like 40-pound, work backpack that's full of other nonsense. And so I went to the 511 store because I like their stuff a lot. And my other backpack's a 511 backpack anyway. And I bought this messenger bag. I think you talking about messenger bags is what kind of put the messenger bag bug in my
Oh,
ear.
cool. Very nice.
Yeah, it
Is
in
it
typical
waterproof?
511. What's that?
Waterproof?
No,
Does it have
but
a
I don't. That's
waterproof cover?
no,
So
just
garbage bag.
yeah. Or
Good.
I mean, or just continue living in San Diego and not worry about
That's
it.
right. I forgot it doesn't rain there, but like once every 3 years or something.
Man, it has been raining so hard the past week. Like yesterday, I thought the house was gonna blow over.
It's
It
funny.
was so freaking windy. But yeah, I had never used the little stabilizer strap. Like on a messenger bag, they have that extra strap that goes
Yeah,
across your body.
right.
I'd never used it until this bag, and I
They
like
work
it.
they work great, yeah.
Yeah.
How's it with the jacket on? It's okay? You got enough room? It's not
Yeah,
too
it
thick?
it gets nice. It gets nice and big. Like, I don't have the strap lengthened out all that much right now. Yeah, it gets plenty big enough. I like that I can take it on and off with the helmet on still,
Yeah.
which,
That's the
the
nice thing about the chrome messenger bag. It's got that, like, seatbelt buckle that you can
oh, yeah.
once you kinda learn how to do it, it's kinda coming over your left shoulder, you just grab the bag and undo the buckle, and then just swing the bag around, and it's kind of a nice bag. It's just not it's not conducive to carrying camera gear in unless you were
Yeah.
to buy, like, a third party insert for it. They don't
Y
the Chrome doesn't make anything.
yeah, this one's not either, but
Right.
it's got a laptop pocket and, it's got
So,
a bunch of organization pockets on the inside, so it's not just like a giant cavernous hole.
let me just run down the bags I've been testing, that way people out there can go look at them.
Yeah,
Boundary Supply makes a bag called the Prima. I've been using that one, like it a lot. Wandered makes a bag called Provoke, which they make it in a 21 and 31 liter size. I've been testing the 21 liter, and so far that's been like my everyday carry go-to bag for a
I'm gonna
couple of
take notes to put this in the show notes.
yeah, Wandered Prima. I'm sorry, Boundary Supply Prima.
Yeah, and wandered provoke.
Yeah, and it's spelled weird. It's like
Yeah,
PRVKE.
VKE. Yeah.
Yeah, the 21 liter. The Kriega, I believe it's their 30, which is a roll top dry bag
Is that
backpack.
the US 30 that, like, doubles as a tail pack?
No, not the US 30. I'll tell you, it's called. I think it's an R30. Hold on, I'll tell you real quick. Kriega
Oh, yeah. It has that
R30.
buckle in the f in for the sternum strap.
Yeah, the big buckle in the front. It's an R30, Kriega
Yeah.
R30. It's a big backpack. It's a 30-liter backpack, roll top. It's purpose built for motorcycling, but not for like carrying cameras and stuff. Where these other bags kind of are.
Yeah.
There's a Boundary Supply Errant that's at my office waiting for me. It was delivered Friday. I haven't seen it yet. That I'm going to be testing out. And the Peak Design modular backpack as well, which I haven't even messed around with yet. So the Peak Design is the proper name for that one.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Is,
find what it's,
tell you what it's called. Hold on a second. They make an everyday carry bag, and that's not it. That one's
okay.
really kind of more of a camera bag. It's a travel backpack,
Okay.
and it's big. It's 45 liters.
Yeah, that is a big bag.
Yeah,
Crikey.
it's on the high end of the spectrum, where the Provoke 21's on the low end. This is the high end, and I'll kind of give we'll do like a roundup of all of them.
Yeah.
That one will be the last one that I actually test because it is so big, and I actually need to buy an insert for it.
What
But
are
what
you
I
doing
got,
with all these bags when you're done with them?
I've not gotten any of these for free. I've bought them with my own money, so I'm
Right,
probably
that's
gonna
what I
sell
mean,
them.
like
Yeah, I'll
yeah,
probably sell them because I've got a significant amount of money invested in this right now. So I'll
yeah,
probably end up keeping one or two of them. I'm gonna probably keep the Peak Design backpack for my travel bag because mine just fell apart finally. But
yeah.
what I got that's kind of bag related, that's not what I wanted to talk about, it's really kind of a cool thing, is this little bag right here. And this is made by Magpul. And it's a waterproof pouch, is what it is.
Mhm.
So those of you who aren't familiar with Magpul, it's a company in the shooting industry that makes magazines and accessories for guns and stuff, but they also make this really cool pouch. It's a
They make
waterproof
lots of
pouch,
tactical things.
tactical stuff, and this is a tactical thing. It's because it's got this cool waterproof zipper on it. What's really neat about this is that if you have something you're keeping in, like the backpack you have, right?
Yeah.
If you absolutely have to have something kept dry, this is the way to go. And I actually think like a Windows Surface Pro will fit in here. I don't think my laptop will. I haven't tried it yet. It doesn't look wide enough.
Yeah.
But like important papers, stuff that you absolutely had to keep dry, some electronics, it's like 25 bucks, and they just call it their pouch.
It
It's
looks super
completely,
durable.
yeah, it's made out of this like, I don't know, like Hypalon. It's some sort of reinforced poly fabric, but
Yeah.
it's really nice. But here's the really cool thing about it. The bag that it comes in, this plastic bag, just this little crappy plastic bag has
Uh-huh.
got writing on it, and I got to read this. It says, dispose of this bag properly. If you decide to keep it, it can be utilized for a number of purposes, including but not limited to seal a sucking chest wound, saving leftover sandwich, transporting goldfish, waterproof overshoes requires 2 bags, spare ammunition storage, air, land, sea sickness bag, reduce or eliminate stops on road trips, evidence collection bag, mildly effective flotation device, not recommended for use as a contraceptive device.
They really went the extra mile there.
They sure did. So I'm keeping this bag. I'm going to keep this bag
Is
because
it
of that.
it looks like kind of heavy duty too though.
It's a plastic bag, dude. I mean, I don't know how heavy duty it is.
It's not like it's not like thicker or anything.
It's like maybe a mil, you know?
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it
Yeah.
just that thing like the
Although somebody poked holes in it to hang it from a thing, so now I can't use it as a,
yeah, you can't use it as a piss bag
or
anymore.
transporting goldfish, but
Yeah, your goldfish will leak out. You could probably still suffocate someone with it though.
I
I
think
kind of
so.
was hoping that would be in their list, like suffocating someone.
Yeah. You could fit it over somebody's head and like suffocate it. But I thought, I read this and I was like, wow, that's really funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, the bag's kind of cool. It's gonna be live in my Moscow Moto bags for stuff that, even though those bags are waterproof, I had a couple things that like in the heat sweated a little bit and rusted,
Yeah.
namely a gun. So
Yeah.
it'll go in this pouch, and hopefully it'll stay not as exposed to humidity, let's say, or temperature changes. We'll see. We'll check it out.
Yeah. In typical 511 fashion, that messenger bag comes with a little tag on it. It's like CCW ready, like because it's
Right.
got
Right.
well,
You
well, it
gotta love
actually has a
511.
what's that?
You gotta love 511.
Yeah, I mean, I have a pair of their pants on right now, but you know how a lot of messenger bags have a zipper that's on the part that's against your body?
Mhm.
Well, this one does too, but inside that zipper is like a bunch of loop side Velcro, like
Yeah, they
inside that
make a bunch
pocket.
of sticky stuff for, like, holsters and mag carriers and stuff, right?
Exactly. So
Yeah.
like you could throw like a holster for a pistol in there or whatever, and then be able to just like unzip the zipper and then just reach in and it's right there.
So you want some useless trivia?
Sure.
You know what 511 stands for?
No.
So the company used to be called Royal Robbins, and they used to make pants for, like, outdoor activity like rock climbing. 511 is a difficulty in rock climbing.
Huh.
How about that?
That's interesting.
You're just a bit smarter now.
Yeah, teeny tiny bit more useless information. I was just
Most
looking at
people
this
that know me
thing.
will say that I made that up, but it is true.
I bet I was just looking at this thing. I bet you could get like a small PDW in here.
Oh, guaranteed.
I mean, especially if it has a folding stock. Like,
Yeah,
you
that
could
see? It's perfect.
go a little further than just a 9 mil pistol.
You
Like,
live in California, though, you don't get to have one.
no,
Come
I don't get
come
to
to
have a gun
Florida,
at
and you can
all,
have whatever you want except the bump stock. Anyway,
right?
let's not go there.
I saw a picture. Oh man, I'm gonna go there a little bit. I saw a picture somebody had posted of like probably like a Remington 700 with a bump stock on it, saying like that it would that products like this are what make it possible for mass shootings or blah 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 blah. I'm not going to argue that point. the thing that was funny is that for those of you that don't know, the Remington 700 is a bolt action rifle, which means you have to use your own damn hand to operate the action and move and eject the round and cycle it forward again and move the round back in. So a bump stock does nothing
Absolutely nothing on that
at all.
except look stupid. Yeah.
Right. um,
Well, with
so,
that,
yeah.
let's give the
Yeah.
prizes away.
Yeah, let's do that. I almost said let's get out of here, but
No,
yeah,
let's
we
give
have
the prizes
prizes to
away.
give away.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to announce who's getting what at the moment because I didn't bother to write that down or anything. But our winners from those of you that entered the 2019 contest are Robert Krupa, Chris Brewer, Tom Patashnik. I'm sorry if I butchered your last name. Benjamin Pajot. Again, sorry about your last name. I might have butchered that. James Gwinup, Hal Pollard, and Steve Case. So
Awesome.
congratulations to all you guys.
2 of those people
Um,
are Patreon supporters.
yeah, actually, if I'm going to
At
email
least
you guys
2.
all out. If one of you really wants the Monza gas cap, by all means, let me know, and I'll make sure that you get it. If otherwise, it's just going to end up going to one of you, and if it fits your bike, awesome. If it doesn't, you have a gas cap. You do. You figure out what you want to do with it.
Can
I'll
make
also
art
send you
out of
guys.
it.
Yeah, I'll send you guys some stickers and some other swag we have. So look forward to that coming in the next, I don't know, week or so when I get to the mailbox and send it to you.
Alright, cool. That's great. Hey,
Yeah.
man, thanks you guys for supporting us on Patreon too, so
Yeah, seriously, it's been great. You guys make the show possible, and it's fun to have you guys in Slack. I've been kind of all over the place lately. I pop into Slack for like 2 minutes, and then I'm out for another week and a half.
yeah, me too. Thank God you guys are doing it on your own because you can't count on Crash and I.
No,
So,
one thing really quick, I like that they've done. They took away so on iOS the badge that shows how many notifications you have now just says one. If like people have said stuff in Slack since the last time you looked at it.
because mine used to say 700.
Yeah, it used to just go up and up and up and up and up and up and up.
Right,
So
right,
now it just says 1.
right.
Like, yes, there's conversations in here.
There's lots of them. So,
If somebody messages you directly, it'll show up as another notification. So then you'll get 2.
yeah.
But that's the most I've seen in several months, and it's been great because there was a
You
while when it was like 100.
listen, the entertainment factor alone from our members is worth the price. I mean, forget having access to us because we've been kinda lame, but
Yeah, we're in and
just
out.
the crew, the Slack crew that's on there is entertainment enough.
Yeah, it's so fun. I mean, there's lots of, banter back and forth.
And we've
You
got
know,
some guys that are pretty good builders and have some great information and know a lot about bikes more than we do, you
yeah.
know? So,
So yeah, if you're looking
yeah,
to support the show, $1 a month will get you the minimum level of entry is the minimum level for entry, and that'll get you and Slack. You'll get access to our Slack, which means you can you know
12
chat
bucks
with
a
all
year,
yeah
less than
yeah
a craft beer.
yeah less than some
Right.
craft beers.
Less than a craft beer. You can have a lot of fun and help
Yeah,
us
so
out. We appreciate it.
yeah, patreon.com/Cafe Racer Podcast. Leave us reviews on iTunes and stuff like that. I actually haven't checked those in a while. I should. We should have maybe there's some funny ones in there. People complaining about stuff that I don't care about, so I can talk shit.
Right. We'll just
um,
forward them all over to the Wheel Nerds. They like that kinda stuff, so.
yeah.
Alright, man,
So
that's it. That's all I got. You got anything
all
else?
right. Nope. Get out and ride.
See ya.